that and have the ability. Well, we have to prove it first off. We have to have the ability, prove it as an offensive unit to say, Coach, we can get this. And now you're not going to all the time, but get him excited and make him believe that you got a great play call. Because obviously, you got a call, you know I'm going to say, yes, got a great one. Not sure it's always going to work, but you can't say, yeah, I'm not sure about that. Yeah, I got a great one. So what it does, though, it helps you game plan, too, and gives you, in your mind, the ability to say, I need to have two or three or four calls in those moments. Kind of like 2-point plays conceptually, but kind of plays like, hey, it might be 4th and 6, and Lance might say go for it. You might be in that gray area. Hey, outside the field goal range, but don't want to punt or whatever. Well, then you got to have a call. So I think that's what is most fun when he jokes about it. He knows what I'm going to say. He'll be like, that dude never wants to punt. I go, no, I don't mind punting. I just don't want to do it. It's not something I enjoy watching. Right. Not because I don't like the punters, but I know that probably means we didn't do a good job offensively. But I think it's nice that you have him believing in us offensively, him believing in myself, no staff that will have play calls ready to go. And then I think it also helps when you have a 6-year quarterback. It's so funny to say that now, but a quarterback with experience, and even guys behind him who maybe don't have a ton of game experience, but they have experienced in the program. You know, Cole obviously has played, Isaiah's been around, and then you go down to Mikey, and besides David and TJ, like, been around for a couple of years, so it's kind of fun.
Did you think that Jalen was going to come back?
Hoping. Just like what I said, people talk about, that's a great question too, thank you, because people talk about Jason. Like they talk about like at the bowl game. I remember talking to Jason at the bowl game, wherever we were, Liberty Bowl, and I'm like, I hadn't talked much to him because was he going to stay or not? And I said, hey Jason, I hope you stay. I go, why not? You're only going to become a better football player a year if you want to have a chance at the next level. And all of a sudden he called me a couple weeks later and said, yeah, let's go. So I was hoping, I'm like, you know what? I know Lance obviously excited he'll do everything he can to keep him around, excited to be there. I'm like, hey, can I get this dude? Can we go back to back? Like have this, could we be this fortunate? And just said, Jim, I love you. I go, because I look at kids, COVID was terrible when what happened, but those guys that got an extra year or something, however you said, you got a year out of it, why not use it to the best of your ability and make yourself as good a person and player as you can be? Selfishly for you individually, then for us as a program, obviously have a kid who's had that much experience, played that many games, or even whether he's been injured or not, played in those games, but also been around those games and the conference and the team that knows what is expected. So I think it was like I was hoping, and in my mind going like, if I'm him, like both those guys, I'm like, if I'm them, I would want to. So I'd say I have more to prove, or want to prove, but make sure. Maybe for here at school, or also for me in my next step in the journey to make sure I can show those guys, hey, I can play.
With Matt joining you guys have already had a working relationship. How is that? How nice is that?
Really nice. He's good. He's fun. Matt's been through so much, that stuff. But he's the one guy. Like the attitude he's kept going through cancer and leukemia and all this stuff. It's like he jokes about it. He's like, just like he called me up one day. I'll say this right, but he joked around. He goes, hey, just remember, life could be worse. You could be going through what I'm going through. And I'm like, Jesus. And he laughed about it. Like, hey, I got cancer. Then you think you're having a bad day because you lost a game or something like that. Joke, like, but made it a way of just saying, like, wow, what a great person. You're like, what a perspective. And he always says, like, what he's gone through has put a lot of things in perspective. Of him always being out, he loves football. And he loves watching tape, and he loves it. He's been so critical in our success a couple years ago just to help us grow. It's like someone had asked before about your growth from the Buffalo days, the work with Andy and the collaboration of you two guys. But then bring in another guy who's had some other thoughts and ideas, and that's what's been so great to have it. And also knowing the type of person he is and knowing what his strengths are, to be able to grow out those strengths. Like, I think anytime you're in the position I'm in, like, I don't know it all. Everybody wants to say, oh yeah, I feel like I know a lot. There are areas that I'm not as expertise as somebody else might be or know more. So I want to learn it. I want guys having ideas and opinions and thoughts like, hey, I know what his strengths are, except like in terms of like, hey, I need some stuff in this situation, or this third down or whatever. Hey, Brett, I got. I know he'll go find. I got some. He'll go find some cut ups of some stuff from like, it might be from like, it might be from the Bart Starr Packer days for all I know, but he'll find something somewhere of this. Hey, I got 8 plays and so on, and he's so good. And he loves that part of it, and he's got a great demeanor too. And with the kids too, he's not a big yeller type guy. it's just that natural kind of confidence. And like I said, I think what he's been through, like a lot will tell you, has helped him put a really good perspective on life and coaching in general.